Hello and welcome to how I play my level 75 Beastlord. Let's get right into it here. So here we go. We have, get out of my way. We have our spells. We're going to talk about that first. We're going to talk about how I have the multibind set up and how I have some other my hotbar stuff. Talk about other buffs we use, and then we're going to talk about gear here at the end. So, first up, we have Frost Spear. Now, this is a level 63 spell, and I'm still casting it because it is a timer 7 nuke, so it's on its own timer. The other two nukes we do, this one, Spiked Sleet and Bite of the Empress, are not on the same timer, so that gives me 3 nukes I can near insta-cast during my multibind. So this one does 660 damage, this one does 1135, and this one does 2494 damage. Definitely all worth casting. So those are the 3 nukes I use, and then I have Shaw's Legacy, a level 70 slow. I typically do my slowing with the Beastlord. Now it's a race between the Beastlord and the Shaman, but typically the Beastlord will get it first in my group, the way I play. Because when I hit the button, the Shaman's usually doing something else. And so it just works out that way. And slowing, I don't slow everything. I slow the things that hurt, I guess is the best way to describe it. So it's very situational on how I slow. And then I have Mark at the Moon, which is our swarm pet. So it'll summon some wild werewolf to attack for a few. And there's a chance 2 of them will come. So if I hit the Mark at the Moon, right, you'll see, there he goes, a little werewolf right there fighting at on the mob. So there's a 12% chance you get 2 of them. They do decent damage, like 700 crit there, 250. You know, it's doing significant little damage for what it is, right? And then I just, pretty much cast that. It looks like it doesn't last as long as the duration, right? So you pretty much cast it on cooldown. It's a 16-second reuse, and it lasts for about 18 seconds. So it works really well in a multi-bind because you don't have to worry about spamming it too much, and you just get it out there and done. Then I have Minotem Mending, which is our target heal for the current level. Now, I like this spell because it is a target heal. That means I'm on this guy doing my job, and I can just click this, and it will target heal whoever the target is. And typically, that is my Shadow Knight. So it works out pretty well. I have it on 6, and then depending on the content, I drag it in and out of my multi-bind to make sure that she is healing on pretty much cooldown, because some of the content is too hard for the Shaman to heal solo. So it just depends. Then I have a Growl of the Panther, which is our pet, short duration buff for the pet. It lasts for 1 minute, increases the pet and my melee damage by 20%, and does 150 health healing every 6 seconds for the full minute, along with increasing our hit points. So I have that in my short duration buff macro here. We just cast it pretty much when we need to. Like that, just short duration. Now, I target myself because I also have Ruthless Ferocity in here, and I cast that on myself. That's 11-minute recast time. I would cast it on my tank, but he is like buff capped at all times, so it doesn't work 99% of the time, so it is what it is. Then here at the end, I have Dire Griffin's Bite, which is a current level dot insta-cast. I don't cast this as much as I'd like. If it had like a 20-second reuse or whatever, I would put it in my multi-bind and use it all the time. But since it's not, it just be spamming it over and over again. I just have it there. Sometimes I hit the dot buttons, but nothing really lives long enough for dots to matter, right? Like I feel like it's a waste. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm ever waiting for something, long enough for that to matter. And then at the end here, I have Spiritual Enlightenment, which is the current level spiritual line of HP and a mana regeneration that stacks with everything. That puts us at like, what, 377 mana regen at the moment. Phenomenal numbers. Phenomenal numbers. But that's the, like, everyday... I don't change from these spells. Now, I do cast, obviously the pet, so Spirit of Ulanese right here, which is got the wrong button on it, but it doesn't matter. All right, and then Spirit of Larum, which is our current level pet proc buff. Unparalleled Veracity, which is our current level. What is it called? Pet Haste. Hobble of Spirits. I cast this whenever I make a new one. It's a permanent buff. It allows the pet to snare. It doesn't seem to work as much as I'd like, but there we are. Spiritual Vim, which is our current level hit point buff. Cast that all the time. It's a group spell. And then I have Spirit of Wolf here. I am missing a spell. I just realized Spirit of Talatak from Empires of Kunark. I just haven't gone there to buy it yet. That would go in that place of there. I might cast it, I might not. The problem I have is that most of my characters are buff capped. Until we get into like the upper hundreds on levels, there is not enough buff slots. It's honestly really annoying. Mystical Attuning is there, right? We're 6 of 31. Each of these gives a new buff slot. So we got a long way to go before we're not feeling the pain of being buff capped. So there's no point in even going to get it. Let's see here. Now, this character, I did not do it, but I should have done it. I'll talk about that here in a minute. Let's finish up the spells. So here we go. We have our assist button is pretty much the same as it's always been. I have mending here on 6. My debuff is just pretty much target the assist target and slow it. My dots are just that one dot we have, the insta-cast. Short duration is literally just cast Growl and then cast Ruthless. It's best I can do right now. And then the next row is just teleport items. And then I do have a button here just for healing X target 20, which is the tank. But that's kind of superseded by this target one here. And then I have my multibind. So I do the 2 frost nukes first, and then I do the poison nuke, and then I do Bark at the Moon, followed by Spiritual Frenzy, which increases our melee speed and attack power significantly. That's our 12-minute reuse. And then I have Rake, which is just an extra damaging ability here, 30-second reuse. Just does a little bit extra damage. And then Roar of Thunder, which deals 2,250 damage and reduces the hatred for us while also reducing some stats. That's a 7-minute reuse, but I just use it on cooldown. And that is pretty much all of that. Now I have Bestial Alignment, Bestial Fury. These are both burnish buttons. I'm building out my burn here. We'll have eventually have a burn button to activate all those at once. Then I have Paragon here, so we're on Paragon 7, so it's pretty good. It's like, what, 400 a tick? Not too bad. And there. Now, I just realized while I was watching this video, making this, that I did not buy my current level earring. So the earring I would buy would be this one right here. This would be from the tower. This is on my mage. I literally totally forgot to go buy it. Which is enhanced minion 1, so that'll increase the power of our pet significantly over not having one. So definitely something I should have bought, but I just totally forgot. So the gear I'm wearing right now is the Crypt Hunter / TBM gear. Now there is no enhanced minion earring that I could find, so the 2 earrings I have are just standard earrings. And I totally forgot to go buy the tower one. That's the only reason. But at this point, at 75, you can get a hold of the Crypt Hunter gear, or you can get a hold of the Preserving gear, which is this one, the Preserving Sifter's Wrist Guard. So you can get that one or this one. Just depends on what you have available to you on your servers. Free trade, so it doesn't matter to me where I get it. So it's pretty good there. The weapons are only 1.3 ratio, but once we do the first TBM mission, the Broken Mirror progression, we will be able to purchase the AUGs, which will give us Type 5 and Type 9 AUGs that will increase the power of this stuff significantly. I believe it takes it to a level 75 plus weapon. Like this is like the bare minimum, but it was better than what I had, so that's kind of where that goes. But for the most part, the full set of that, I was able to buy the actual Beastlord gear because someone was selling it very cheap, and it had all the AUGs. You can see here is an example of these are level 85, and this is level 100 AUGs, right? So you can see how much power that adds to the gear on top of what the gear is. So, like for example, this breastplate goes from 300 hit points to 2600 hit points at level 100. So it will scale with me as I level. I just have to change out the AUGs every 5 levels. So it's a very good gear set. It's probably the best you can get. If you don't have access to that, you're going to want to do the Paragon armor progression, which is through the hero's journey. It's special. Find one of them. Yeah, Herald of Old Anatonica. You can see here the Paragon rings. These are 900 hit points. So when we get the AUGs, these should go up to about 900 to 1,000 hit points for the first tier, and so on and so on. So the Paragon stuff is really good if you don't have that. And then there is also a set before there, Heroes. So you can get the Heroes gear by doing the achievements inside of the previous 70 to 80, whereas the Paragons is like 75 to 85. And then at 80, you can get House of Thule Tier 1 gear, which is about the same as the Paragon gear. So there's some progression there in gear that you can do, alternative to what I'm doing, but it just depends on you and your server for the most part. Let's see here. That is gear. That is spells. That is my hotbars. Yeah, and the enhanced minion earring. This thing here. Most important piece of gear I could possibly think of for the Beastlord. Just totally didn't buy it. That's how dumb I am. There we go. But one of these items increases frost damage, and you're gonna want that one. Yeah, here we go. The hands. So you're going to want to pick up the hands is whatever focus item has the cold-based damage. 2 of our nukes are cold-based. One is poison-based, so the bracer is going to help with that. So you're going to the hands and bracer there. The alternate bracer does disease. So we do have an insta-cast disease dot. I don't cast dots, but if you were playing... Like in my solo series for the Beastlord, I use the dots there because the mobs last longer. I'm 6-boxing here. Mobs do not last long enough to dot. So it just depends on how you're playing the character and what your situation is. If you're in a group of real people, nothing is going to ever live long enough to dot. Playing my 125 Necro, grouping with real people, I never, nothing ever lived long enough for me to dot. I had a whole special group set up for my for a Necro to nuke. Like it's kind of frustrating, right? Like it's better to play solo because you get to do your your dots and stuff, your big damage. So you probably get 1 dot on there if you want, but it's just not worth it to me. Especially at this high 800 mana cost versus the 600 on that, right? Like this is gonna do 2400 instantly. And this is going to take a few ticks to actually get to 2400 damage, and it's costing more mana. Now, if it lasts the whole duration, obviously it's worth it. But if you can't, it's not. But there we go. That's pretty much everything. The pet is a pet, right? He doesn't have any gear. I haven't given him any gear. I typically will do it every once in a while. I'll give them, mage gear. But for the most part, I don't. It's like they die. I log on, they're not there. Like it's weird. I don't know why. I'll log on sometimes and I won't even have a pet anymore, and I'll have to like resummon it and rebuff it and all that nonsense. And if I spent 10 minutes making all these pets gear, it'd be frustrating to have that happen more than once. So I just don't even bother with it right now. Now, when I get to like 125, I will, permanently keep them geared up. But right now, while I'm leveling every 5 levels, I mean, I can't even play 5 hours without getting to the next 5 level block, right? Like it's that's how fast we're leveling now. So it's just not even worth wasting 10 minutes doing that. So that's the 75 Beastlord, and that's how I play her. Fun class, a very strong class, arguably one of the better solo classes in the game, and definitely a great group class. You'll see I do have a 2 series where I play Beastlord. I have the Terror of the Verant season, playing a solo Beastlord, and then the Hobbs and Friends series where I play it is a box in a group of 6, and you can kind of see there how I play in both situations, so it kind of works out. You can see everything, but that's that. Thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.